what we're making today. A custom Ciana medium. Turned out perfect. One of my slim locks that I sell on my website, which I'm getting matte black ones. I'm pretty excited about that. You open it up, you have a zipper pocket, a slip pocket, and then I also added an accordion wallet. So you'll see all that made on the video today. This is the Ciana medium. It is a pattern by Simply Classic. An adjustable crossbody strap too. Go get the pattern. Let's get started. Hi everybody, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs. I'm getting ready to do a custom order. I'm not going to say the person's name, but it's going to be a very cute bag, so I thought I'd just record it. It's a Ciana, and we're going to do it out of this brown and white crock from Simply Classic. I have never made anything with this, but it's just like all her other crock. I did do a little fussy cutting for the front and the back. Let me show you. So this is the center, and this will be the sides on both of them. Very nice. And then this is going to be the lining. Oops, yeah. It's that bengaline. It's very nice. Very, very, very nice. And then I'm using antique brass hardware. So I'll go over all the pieces as we do it. I've done a little bit of prep. So my 2 D-rings, my zipper overlay, which has tape, and I'm doing the connector that has the slim thumb lock. I have my key fob that I already have divided down the middle with, not key fob, she doesn't want a key fob, my accent piece for my slip pocket. My strap I already have marked down the middle, and we're going to do that first. I've already marked for my magnetic snaps. Let's do it. And I'm actually going to make her, she doesn't know this yet, and I didn't ask her if she wanted one or not. I'm just going to send it a small accordion with it. Yeah. Let's get started. All right, so let's do these 2 D-rings first. I may not be following the pattern completely as far as the order. And I'm doing, instead of 1 inch, I always do 3/4 D-ring connectors. I just think it looks better on the bag. Just my own 2 cents. I know, somebody said, do I always change things in patterns? And I don't always, but I do sometimes. It feels like I do. Not always. All right, let's just stitch those together. I am using white thread that matches perfectly. This sews beautifully. You know, it's kind of interesting because it is just a hair different than the other Crocs. It's actually almost nicer. Oh my. Oh dear. Where'd my D-rings go? Let me find my D-ring. All right, 3/4 inch D-rings, and I just put a piece of tape on each short end. And she tells you to measure up from one short end a certain distance. And we're gonna fold it at that line. And then we're gonna meet the other side. So just like that. perfect. Okay, those are ready. All right, now I'm going to do my strap. So this is just a 4-inch piece, unlike any other strap. Not unlike any other strap, I should say. And we're going to take the tape off. I centered the line down the middle, put tape on either side. And we're going to fold it in just shy of that line. And then we're going to fold it again. So I know a lot of us like to use the webbing anymore, but I think the nicer bags, I wouldn't use webbing. I would use either leather or vinyl. And I mean, as soon as I said that, I'm like, well, it really depends. Like some of my leather bags, I've used webbing. I think it depends. As soon as I said that, I said, well, that's not actually probably true. You know? Man, this is really nice stuff. My friend Terry has made several bags with this. I think she's made the Julie, which is a Simply Classic pattern. It turned out stunning too. But I've never sewn with it. So. All right, let's do it. I'm going to put some tape down the middle. So that it stays together. And doesn't shift on me. It's a little bit slippery. So I don't want it shifting on me as I sew. I often get asked about what double-sided tape I use, and I'm here to tell you there's probably no perfect double-sided tape, but this is, I almost exclusively use Weft & Warp Co. Tammy. It is very sticky, and it tears easily. I can't stand to use double-sided tape that I have to cut. I don't know. It's a personal preference. So. And I don't think I'm going to speed this video up at all. That's my plan anyway. I may. But so far, I don't think I will. I'm just going to let it roll. Okay. I'm going to get my little seam guide out. And we're going to do it that way. There we go. I am using a 4.5 inch or 4.25 inch stitch length. beautifully. Just absolutely beautifully. I'm actually very pleased. I am putting strap ends on too, so. Oh my gosh, you guys. You can't hardly even see it, but it's perfect. All right, next step. All right, let's put our strap end on. Oh dear. Up and through our slider, and I use when I use vinyl, I do use a wide mouth slider, which I do sell. And I'm going to put 2 rivets here. I'm going to put one, and then I'll add the other one. I really, you know, now that I have the presses, I really don't like using those. Isn't that funny? And then I'm going to add another one. And I'm going to use my die for this one. So much easier, guys. So much easier. Let me make sure I got it in the center here. And I'm using my long rivets because this is pretty thick. And I don't want any chance of these coming out. Let's go press that. Look how good that looks. Now we're going to add our swivel clasp. up and through our slider. And I'm going to add my other swivel clasp. Then I'll add my strap end. I'm missing a screw. I'm going to have to go find another screw. Okay, let me go find another screw. Perfect. And then we're going to add 2 rivets here. Here and here. Going to be some noise. That one didn't go through. There we go. All right, so we finished our strap. It just is so gorgeous, guys. I have to make one of these for myself. So I'm going to put my magnetic snaps in. Now, I normally use rivet magnetic snaps, but I do not like on this bag my button showing on my rivet magnetic snap. So I use the prong magnetic snaps, which I also sell in addition to the rivet. You know, sometimes I really don't mind. Most of the time I don't mind the buttons from the rivet magnetic snaps showing, but I don't like it on this particular bag for some reason. I don't know. Okay, let's put the 2 male on one side and the 2 female on the other side. Just make sure they're both on the same side. It does not matter which side. We'll cover those both with some foam or duct tape or something. I don't think I got that cut. That's kind of weird. No, I didn't. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's cover these. We have some workers outside, so if you hear a bunch of talking, not for us, but for our neighbors. Okay, those are done. Now I have little protective buttons that come on my snaps. I'm just going to leave them on. Perfect. All right, now we're going to do our little connector for our thumb drive. Our slim thumb lock. That's funny, Barb. It's not a thumb drive. Oh, and I was going to mark this. So you want to be pretty precise with this. And I did this before I took my paper off, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. So this is option 2, I believe, of the connector. This is my favorite option, honestly. But there are 2 other options to choose from. So we just marked that, and we're going to fold that in. One side has stabilizer. And then there's a piece of tape down the middle to keep it together. While we sew it. All right. And then we just put these 2 together. Nice and even as you can. Oh my, that might be the best one I've ever made. Good. Now we're gonna sew up one side and down the other. Let me check something. Up one side. I didn't hold my threads. I've kind of gotten in the habit of holding my threads even here. I normally don't have an issue, but this kind of got bunchy in here, so let's just make sure we can clean it up. because this would be visible. Okay, let's do the other side. Hold your threads. Much better, Barb. Okay. Now this is white vinyl, so you're going to want to be careful when using any flame next to it, because it will burn it. So just be very judicious. And there you have it. Isn't that going to be cute? This side goes onto the back of the bag, and this will have the thumb lock. We'll go ahead and put it on. Okay, so here's my connector and my thumb lock. I just chose the nicest looking side for the front of the lock. It's one of my slim thumb locks, and I am getting these in matte black. I'm pretty excited about that. Now I'm going to live a little dangerously, and I'm going to put just a tiny dab of Loctite on there. It doesn't even probably need it, but I think it's helpful. Just be very careful not to get it on the rest of your thumb lock. Because it will lock it up. Okay, perfect. So there you have it. That's all there is to this part. Isn't that nice? I just love it. So this part goes like this. It works beautifully. All right, let's set that aside for just a little bit and do the next All right, so step. The next step is to put our little D-rings on from the pattern piece. It shows you where to put them, and I just marked them. And I'm going to put a piece of tape on the back. I do not sew these on, I rivet them on. Just a personal preference. Mainly because I cannot sew a nice box to save my soul. I could, but it just never is as good as I want it to be. All right, so we're going to put these in that little box that you drew from the pattern piece. And then we're going to rivet them on. Now, keep in mind, I want to show you something, because this is really can be confusing, but once you understand, you'll see. Now, so these are both on the same side when you look at them straight on, but when you put them on the bag, this one will be on this side, this one's on this side. So just be aware of that. It feels like you're putting it on the wrong side, but you're not. Okay. Let's get our tools. out again. And I'm going to put 2 rivets in here. One. 2. Now this one can handle just a regular size rivet, not a long rivet is what I mean by that. There's not that many layers to go through. So that's what you'll have. It's perfect in every way. Rather than trying to sew a perfect box, you know, at least for me. Some of you may be very good at the boxes. And even when I draw them on, I still I'm not satisfied with them. So I prefer to do this. And we'll go press those. All right, so from the pattern piece, mark where on the front or the back, whichever you prefer. Actually, it has to be the front for this. This is the other part of the lock. And I always have to double check. These locks go with like this. So the narrow part where it's connected is the top. And so I'm just going to mark where that goes. And just make sure it's straight up and down. And centered. Okay, I got extra marks on here, so I'm just making sure. Yeah, right there. Okay, so the skinny part up here goes at the top. And just make sure it's straight up and down. This looks a little crooked to me. Yeah, it's a little bit crooked, so let me make a little more over here. Yeah. Okay. Put your washer on. I have always put this in after, but I can tell you right now, this is so much easier to do it now. Trust me. Okay, then I'm going to get a piece of fleece for this one, something a little heavier than foam. And I'm also gonna put just a little piece of Decaville over the top of it. Probably way overkill, but I don't want anything rubbing on my fabric. Okay. Perfect. So now when I'm done, that's gonna go just like that. Isn't that perfect in every way? Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay. Let's put our X-Acto knife away before we cut ourselves. And then the next thing, I'm going to put my tag on. And I'm just going to put it here. Centered to the side. I'm just making sure it's nice and straight. Okay. I put my X-Acto knife away too soon. Now, where's my marks? Here they are. Perfect. Just making sure it's straight. Let's add another piece of fleece. So there is your front. You've got your tag, your portion of your thumb lock, and your D-ring connector. And here's your back with your D-ring connector. All right, so we're going to take our front and back, and we're going to put those right sides together. And sew those with the seam allowance in the pattern. And I just got these little clips. They are fabulous. They hold things so well. I know, it's just Jackson Low. Okay. Sew that together at the seam allowance. Then we're going to open that seam up, and I am going to tape it open. I don't know if this, we'll see if this will hold and stay down. I don't know that yet. I think it will. We'll see momentarily. Because we're going to top stitch on each side of that seam. Oh my. That's perfect. And you really just need it to stay long enough to get it stitched on both sides. Dropping things. Okay, so I've had concerns that people can't hear me. They have to turn their volume way up. So please let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm not sure, because when I go back and watch the video, I can hear it just fine. Okay, so we just stop stitch across the bottom. Okay, now we are going to pull the sides up and do the same thing on the sides. We're not going to top stitch the sides though. I am going to tape them open though. There's not a huge, oops, I didn't cut my thread. There is not a huge seam allowance, so just be aware of that. Now be aware you've got your D-ring in here, so if it helps, fold it down. And repeat on the other side. Actually, yeah, let's repeat it on the other side. Let's tape those nice and flat. And I wouldn't skip this step. It does really make a difference. I didn't do it the first couple times I made this bag, but it does make a difference. If the tape will hold it, you know, you could glue it. This can be a little awkward to get it nice and flat. Just have to get in there. Perfect. Do that on the other side. I am going to roll this too. my seam roller. Okay, let me grab it. And then I am going to clip it until I'm ready for it. And I'm gonna let it sit so the tape kind of stays where I want it to. It won't be forever, and that's okay. Love it. All right, next step. All right, so I'm gonna do my slip pocket next, and I'm doing mine a little different. This is how I like to do my slip pockets now. I measured in 3/4 of an inch on each long side, and then I just fold that to the wrong side. I forget who did this first. If it was Sandy at Cower Threads or who it was. But I love it. Then we just fold those wrong sides together, and we're going to sew across the top, not the sides. 1/8 of an inch. Add our decorative trim. The sides are still open. Just shy of that middle line. Fold that over. And top stitch. Cut your excess off on each side and just make sure you caught the back here, which we did. Okay. Perfect. Doesn't that look nice? Okay, centered and down from the top, what she tells you. And these little divots here are the top. I'm just going to use some of my Sew Tights. Perfect. And sew down the sides and the bottom. stitches across the bottom. Kind of started doing that because, you know, pockets get a lot of use. You don't want stuff coming out of your pocket. Okay. Now I'm just going to leave that one big pocket. Perfect. Next step. All right, so I'm going to make the zipper pocket next. So I have one of my zipper pocket linings right side up. And I am going to put my zipper tape on right side up and stitch that on. Then I'm going to fold it over and flatten it. Sew it flat. And repeat that on the other side. This bangling fabric is very nice, but it does fray. So it does have to be interfaced, and it needs it anyway, really. Turn that over and flat sew that flat. Okay, now I'm going to put my zipper pull on. My friend Donna sent this to me. I just love it, Donna. Thank you so much. It's just perfect. This So Hungry Hippie. Zipper jig. It's just perfect, honestly. Is that right? Yes, it is. Okay. So that's ready. Now take your other lining and grab your zipper overlay, if I can find it. Okay. Same distance down from the top, centered. Then we're going to sew around the outside. I'm going to pull this thread. Well, no. You can't see it. It's white on white. Now we're going to cut that away. And sew in our zipper. Perfect. Let's add some double-sided tape. And it's this way. Oh my, that's perfect. All right, let's sew. Your zipper pocket is laid flat open. And we're gonna sew around the inside box. Perfect. Perfect. Now we're going to close that up, so we're going to pull that down. We do not leave this open. So we've got extra down here, which we'll cut off. I don't think we leave this open. Let me look. Yeah, we do leave it open. It's been a while since I made this bag. Okay. I've slept many times, so let's sew the sides closed. And we're going to just fold that up. Yeah, that's right. We closed the bottom through this. I forgot. Then down here where I folded these up, I'm just going to trim that really close. Get rid of some of that bulk. And open those up. So that when I go to finish this, it's already nice and even. Just like that. And now you have a gorgeous completed zipper pocket. It's not a big one, just perfect for this size bag. All right, now I'm gonna take off some of my clips that were down here. I gotta separate my clips, guys. You know me, I have to separate them. And we're gonna box our corners down here. Okay. Match your bottom seam and your side seam. And sew that together. Seam allowance and pattern. Same on the other side. Okay, I'm going to take these side clips off. They've been on there a while now. They'll be good enough. Perfect. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. All right, let's turn it right side out. I'm going to trim this bottom just a little. There we go. Turn it right side out. Now I interface with fusible fleece or self-adhesive fleece, which is giving this quite a bit of body, actually. Oh my gosh, you guys. Look how perfect that is. That is just perfect. All right, so the next step is to put our top pieces on, and I am going to mark the centers on the top and the bottom of these. I am going to be finishing this on Thor. That's my plan. Okay. So these pieces go at this top right here. You guys, I will admit, I really like these clips. In fact, I got another set. For Thor. Yeah, I did. I really like them. I didn't think I would, but I do. I am really doing my best to support some of the small businesses if I need things, and sometimes even if I don't really need it, like that. I really didn't need any more of these clips or these containers, but she's a brand new business and she's starting off, and I thought, you know what? I think she is anyway. I don't really know too much about her. All right, let's sew this at the seam allowance and pattern, and note the seam allowance is different. Pay attention to that. You're going to turn that up and you're going to stitch just between this area on the lining piece. The seam is down below. Okay, that's what you have. Isn't that cute? Repeat over here. Top stitch. My customer is gonna love this bag. I would. Okay. All right, we're ready to put it together. We're all out of pieces. So, I'm gonna do my sides here. We'll put our sides together. This is attached. Oops. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna just check the seam allowance because I think it's different. We're not doing the key fob. Okay. Okay. On the floor. That is perfect. So I'm just gonna finger press these seams on the inside. Nice. All right, so take your exterior and we're going to insert it inside our lining. So I want my zipper pocket to be in the back. Here's my zipper pocket, and this is the back. So we're going to insert that inside, and it's a snug fit, which it should be. Oh, you know what? I didn't mark these centers. Let me do that. to the zipper. And then we're gonna just clip these all the way around. Again, these clips, guys. This is a pretty slippery material. It's not slipping with these clips. No slippage. If you didn't already, install the other portion of your thumb lock, which I did earlier. Make sure you do that before you put this together. Not the end of the world, but it would be easier. Okay, match up your side seams. Did you see that? I just threw it on the floor. I did it on purpose. Use plenty of clips. Oh, I gotta trim my zipper here. Let's do that. All right, let me go thread my friend Thor and we'll finish this bag. All right, let's do it. So this is just sewing the 2 layers together. So you do need to follow the pattern. Sorry, hold on. I'm expecting a... Okay. I'm expecting a phone call. Go slow around the corners because you really want it to look nice. And I think that's perfect actually. The corners right here are probably the trickiest part of this whole bag. It's very doable. And it can be done on a flatbed. But you know what? I have Thor, so I use him whenever I can. see how nice these clips are keeping it together. Perfect. Yeah. Yep. Almost there. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so you do want to trim these edges, and I am, you want to trim into the corner. Ooh, I need some sharper scissors than that. Let's see if these will work. Oh yeah. Don't cut your threads. Yeah, those aren't sharp enough either. I'm going to try all my scissors until I fit. Oh yeah, that's better. It's pretty thick right here. Okay. Perfect. I'm going to get my pinking shears. Okay. Let's trim especially the corners. And then we're trimming all this excess away in here down to where we clip the corner. You don't want any excess in these seams down here. Just be careful, don't clip your seam. Take the time to do this trimming because it's really important. Okay. Your bag will look so much better if you do this. Yep. sure I got it all. Yep. Took 3 pairs of scissors to do it. Okay. So we trimmed this straight edge, and then we trimmed this down to that clip that we made. Now we're ready to turn it and see how we actually did. See, by leaving that bottom totally open, it's perfect. So I'm expecting a call from my 94-year-old aunt, my last living aunt. My cousin is gonna help her call me. So that's why I keep checking my phone. Okay. Punch all that out. Go slow because these corners can be tenuous until you get it nice and turned. Never had a problem with it, but I'm always very careful. So nice. Now we do have to top stitch, so, and then finish the bottom. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. All right, let me take these off. Let's see how it looks. You guys, that looks so good. That'll flatten out when we top stitch. All right, let me grab all my clips and we'll clip that and then top stitch. I had my clips right here. Nice. Again, you're going to want to take the time to get it clipped nicely, especially on these corners, because the lining wants to pop up. Don't let it. Say no, no. All right, I am gonna pound my sides just a little bit. I'll show you. Okay, so I'm just gonna use these little pressers that I had for key fobs. I hardly ever make key fobs anymore, not like that. Hold on a second. Okay. And then I'm gonna press these corners because they're kind of thick. Even though we trim them good, they're kind of thick. Just this little bit really makes a difference. Clips left and right. All right. All right, let's do going to start in the back over here on the side. See what you can see. All right, here we go. And I'm going to pull these threads. Well, I actually can just backstitch. The white matches so perfectly. It's just perfect. Get your D-rings out of the way. These little clips are a game changer. I didn't realize how slippery my clips were until I got these. They're not very expensive. That really came out good. I'm very happy. Let's take a look though. Oh my gosh, that really came out good. See how good that is? It's perfect. All right, let's pull the zipper pocket out. Just a second. And then we're going to pull the lining through the pocket and we'll finish the lining. And normally Thor doesn't like thin material, but this is all interfaced, so I think it'll be fine. it's not a big zipper pocket, so it feels like it's like, wow. Clip your bottom together, and we'll sew the bottom together first. And then we'll box our corners. Okay. I'm holding my threads. Easy. Let's box those corners. Okay. Hold your threads. Okay. One more. Hold your threads. Alright, I'll put that down in there, and then we'll close our zipper pocket. Okay, hold your threads. I'm talking to myself. It's a good habit to get into. Oh, you know what? I didn't hold my threads. Hold, please. It's fine. I keep dropping my bag. Perfect. that in there and see how our inside looks. This is a very cute bag. I don't do very many custom orders. I just don't have the time, but this is for a long time subscriber who's just as kind as can be. Hook this pocket down in a little more. There we go. Look how good that fits. It's perfect. You'll train your sides to go in just like this and snap. Oh, we have to put our turn lock on, our flap on. All right, guys, I forgot to record the final piece of this, but it's not hard. So here's the bag. It's absolutely stunning. And the final piece is to add your tab for your thumb lock. So you just actually, what you do is you put your thumb lock in and put your tab over the top to decide where you want your two rivets, and then you punch your rivets. Now the rivets are punched all the way through, so you do want to make sure that your rivets don't hit in this line where your stitching is, because that would decrease the integrity of your stitching. So as long as they're up here somewhere, that's absolutely fine. And that's it. Look how perfect that lining fits. It's perfect. The Ciana Medium by Simply Classic. So there it is. And now I am getting ready to make a matching accordion wallet small. So here's my piece. And I have Decaville Light and Decaville Heavy on each end. This time I'm going to use some self-adhesive lining. I don't know. I've never used it for this. So we're going to see how it goes. It's the same size as the outside, so let me pull you down. I don't know why it wouldn't work, because it's all sewn on, number one, and this is non-fraying too. Okay. So I'm just going to get it on there nice and even. The nice thing about this self-adhesive lining, it does lift up. Yeah, it's hanging over just a hair, which is not a big deal. The only thing I don't like about this light color is you can see through it. So I'm thinking what my options are with that. So you can see right through it. I'm just trying to decide if that's a big deal or not. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like, you can see the interfacing. I don't like that. If it was just for me, it'd probably be fine. But this is for a customer. I don't like it. Let me go get a different something. All right, so yeah, this is much better. The white of that self-adhesive wallet lining is, unless it's changed, I've had that for quite a while. It's just too opaque, or too, you can see right through it. I don't like it. Okay, let's sew this together. That's the seam allowance in the pattern. Right sides together. Okay, let's do this other side. Let's turn it right side out. Goodness. It's worse than leather. There we go. That was crazy. Okay. All right, so now we're just going to stitch across the short ends. Just to keep those closed. See how much better that is? You can't really see through it. Yeah. All right. Let me do a little dry test here. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so I want this to be my front. So this is where we're going to cut our hole. So let's mark for our hole. Going to be some noise. Okay, let me see if that's good enough. Perfect. Okay. All right. Let's mark for our accordion. Add some tape. I am using one of the light brown accordions. I have plenty of those in stock now. I decided just to go black and light brown because the dark brown is so dark, it's almost impossible to distinguish between black and dark brown. So, which is nice if you know, only have dark brown left. You can use it, or light, yeah, dark brown, you could use it for black. Okay. Let's add our accordion. You don't want any double-sided tape hanging out either, because that will be seen. All right, let's put it on. Just make sure you get it right side up. On both sides. And even though I double-sided tape it, I always clip it too. Because the tape doesn't always hold it. And you don't want it moving. That's for sure. And then we'll stitch down the sides. Okay. Beautiful. All right, let's sew down each side. Let's do the other side. perfect. Okay, let me grab some glue. And glue is optional. I do think it makes a difference. I would encourage you to use just a little bit of glue. You don't want too much because then it'll eke out everywhere. Perfect. Grab my screws. And my electric screwdriver is over there, so I'm just going to use this. No, I'm not. Hold on. All right, here we go. Okay. Now, well, on this one, we just want to make sure we stay with our glue away from the hole. And I say at least a ½ inch away from the hole. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put some dark. Just on the inside there so you really can't see it. Totally optional. So I just use a Sharpie. That's all I use. Two more. I've resorted to putting my little screws on a magnet so they don't roll off my table. Okay, this one won't go down, so let me see. Let me puncture it. There we go. Okay, so I've got 2 extra screws. There we go. Oh my goodness. Cute, cute, cute. Make sure it all works. Perfect. All right, so now all of mine come with a protective plastic on it, and you want to take that off, obviously. Makes a big difference to keep it protected while you're working with it. That's it. Cute little wallet. All right, here's her Ciana. So cute. And inside there's a zipper pocket and a slip pocket. And look how nice it fits. It's just perfect. And now we're going to add our little accordion wallet. So cute. I'm going to add that right inside. Snap our snaps. And our thumb lock. And voila. A custom bag just for a friend of mine. She's actually a subscriber. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Be sure to hit the thumbs up.